What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and most toxic black man on the internet. The brother who told you that everyone is not about playing games, but you didn't listen, and now your dumbass has an extra belly button, and I am black up in your face again with some more pro black commentary. So, something happened that I'm surprised doesn't happen more often, and that is where one of these YouTube pranksters, people who like to play these little, social media pranks on people in public, and he wound up getting shot at a mall in Virginia. Okay, so the young man that got shot, his name is Tanner Cook. I believe he's either 20 or 21 years old, and he's a YouTuber. His channel is called Classified Goons, where I guess a lot of his pranks, he tries to pretend to be a thug or a goon or something like that. Just typical goofy looking white boy who wants to pretend to be black, and he likes to go around and play these pranks on people. I actually went to his channel just to see what he was all about, and I can honestly say I feel dumber after just watching one video. Okay, he does a prank where he pretends to be an employee at Target, but he's a quote unquote thug employee. So he's smoking weed and asking the women there at Target that they want to go smoke with him and taking over the cash register and just stupid stuff while someone is sitting there filming him do this. So apparently he went to a mall in Virginia, in Sterling, Virginia, and he tried to play this prank on this very strange looking white man, a white man that I would not want to play around with, by the way. I think, let me see what this white man's name is. His name was Alan W. Coley, and he's 30 years old. And Tanner tried to play a little joke on Alan, and Alan pulled out the blicky and popped this little pump. And then, there's footage out there of Alan Coley getting arrested at the mall. Like, the police swarmed on him and arrested him. And he's being charged with, you know, uh, having a gun and discharging it in a public building like the mall. Now, I've always said that, a lot of these pranksters, there's a reason why you see them in a lot of, like liberal northern states. And there's a reason why you see them in countries that don't really have or have very strict gun laws where people aren't allowed to own guns. There's a reason you don't normally see them here in the South. And this is the reason why. Okay? Because people in the South carry guns, you you can just automatically assume that there's going to, if you approach someone here in the South, they got a gun, whether they have it legally or not. Okay? That it doesn't matter if they're open carrying or if they have a license or whatever. Normally, people here just have one on them for protection because they believe that's their right, quote unquote, right? So you really should not be trying to play any type of prank where you're threatening violence against somebody. And I see so many of these YouTubers, like I've seen it for years now, where you'll have, especially these white YouTubers, where they'll do some sort of prank where they're threatening violence or something against somebody and seeing how they can get a reaction so they can get a laugh out of them. And then they'll try to say, oh, it's a prank. It's a prank. Look, you're being filmed right now. And thinking that's going to make everything okay. As if someone's still not going to bust their ass if, just because you say you're playing a prank on them. Okay. Like, I'm trying to remember, there's a couple I saw years ago where they were going to these black neighborhoods and saying, like, do you want to fade? Basically, their whole thing was the double meaning of a fade. They were talking about a haircut, but they were insinuating that they wanted to fight the black people there. So the black people were squaring up with them or going upside their head, and then these fools would kind of yell, this is just a prank, just a prank. But like I said, everyone's not playing with you. Okay, everyone's not playing games with you. You need to stop that nonsense. All right, and it's a sad thing when I see a lot of young black kids starting to do these really dumb pranks. They'll play pranks on their parents or whatever, which is not funny. Or they'll, play these pranks on just random people that they see out there. I saw like during the COVID quarantine, like, you know how they would let older people like go shopping first, because they need time to go in there and go shopping for groceries and whatnot. They had this fool doing a prank where and this is a black kid, by the way, going in there and coughing and sneezing on these older black people, acting like that's supposed to be funny, right? And this older black man will almost mess this little punk up. So this type of stuff needs to stop. And the fact that I know YouTube claims that they're cracking down on it, but they really don't, especially if it's young white kids. They let these young white kids do all types of nonsense on social media, especially on YouTube, okay? And the truth of the matter is, because they know it gets views, no matter how ridiculous it is, YouTube will use that and build up their own, view count, so they'll let these fools do this nonsense. Me and you just sharing videos and talking about politics or what's going on in current events, they'll snatch that video down. But these fools can go out there and be threatening violence against people. Now, they'll say that something that I say or the Radical Home Sister or whoever, something that we say is going to incite violence or it's hate speech or whatever. But you literally have someone get online talking about threatening other people and talking about I'm a thug and all this other stuff, and causing a violent situation. They're causing fights to happen, but YouTube won't take their channel down. They'll just let the view count go up and up. They'll get them into the rotation on YouTube and kind of push their videos out there for people to watch. I'm sure this little punk here, even though he survived getting shot, he's going to get more views off of it. YouTube is not going to take his channel down. It's still up right now as I'm recording this video. Okay, even and it's made national news that he got shot playing around on YouTube trying to record this damn prank video. But YouTube won't take his channel down. Like, they'll promote it, and he'll get more views from these idiots out here, and these young kids who, instead of going out there and getting a job and getting their life together, they think, well, I'm going to be a big YouTube star and I'll just do these ridiculous pranks and play around with people. But you need to understand, there are people out there who have gone to prison based on these pranks, and there are people who've been seriously injured in these pranks. So this fool almost lost his life. I was going to say he's lucky he got shot in the stomach, but that's a very painful place to be shot in, and that can be very dangerous, okay, if you don't get immediate medical attention, because it's puncturing several organs down there, especially even if it just goes through your intestines. That's bad, okay? That can do serious damage to your internal digestive system if you lose part of your intestines like that, or it gets perforated and you start bleeding, or there's an infection or whatever down there, okay? So he's very fortunate. He claims he's not going to stop doing these pranks, but his parents need to sit down and talk to him and tell him he needs to stop playing around like this, especially if you're going to be in a southern state where people carry weapons. Everyone's not going to play with you. If you're threatening somebody, because this guy Alan Coley thought he was being threatened by this fool. He thought he was for real. He thought he was a real thug, and he did some thug stuff back to him. Okay, so stop playing around with people out here. And I would hope my people out there. I know a lot of people that listen to me. They're usually a lot older, but I know there's some young people that listen to me. Please don't start doing this nonsense. Please, the older people who have children, especially if you have teenagers, don't. If you see them trying to do something like this, don't encourage them to do that. Okay, that's extremely dangerous. And I know it's probably 10 times more dangerous for black kids. You can't go around pretending to be a thug or threatening somebody when you're a black kid, because someone will take you seriously and take you right up out of here. Okay, this is not a game out here. All right. So you folks can let me know what you think about it in the comments section. I very much like to hear your opinions on this. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on the devil's back.